Yeah, it's there.
Okay, just making sure.
See him.
Okay, I see him now.
It's recording. Greetings and welcome everyone to an AYCG Moviecast. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy
What's up?
and Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
What's up, guys? Corey is in the middle of a move, so he won't be joining us today, unfortunately. Welcome to this episode of the Moviecast. We are live on Twitch starting Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Please join us for these broadcasts. If you do miss the live events, we are over on YouTube. All the content is there, so be sure to subscribe. That way you can get notified when we go live or when we post the new episodes. You get to this in greatest, latest, and greatest. So, all right, folks. Once again, it's the Moviecast. So, what have we been up to, guys? I watched a movie, which I kind of hoped Corey was going to be on here because he watched it earlier this year. Twisters.
Mm.
No.
So I watched that over the weekend. I watched it Friday night. Well, it wasn't over the weekend. I watched it Friday night. So I guess it was on Peacock or something like that. So I was like, oh, I've been meaning to watch that for this year. Fun movie. I think Corey talked about it. It has a very good feel, like the old Twister movie. Not quite as good. I guess you can't it's not like a Top Gun thing where it's like, oh, this was great. No, it wasn't phenomenal, but it was a good movie. It was fine. I didn't have any big gripes with it. So, but like I said, it was interesting, and it sucks that the big actor, what's his name, Bill Paxton, he's no longer around. So we couldn't get him to do any sort of cameo, but there was really nothing cameo wise that I saw. But yeah, so I watched that, and an episode, only one of the three new episodes of Arcane, because I watched two. I watched the one from episode 3 and then the episode 4 I've watched. So it's been I mean, I'm sure you're caught up, Tony. So you could take over for that, but I'm loving this series. Obviously, first season was great. They've got the vibe down for this one, still great. I would say that I would say they're tugging more at the heartstrings and emotions this time than last time. Even it's crazy to say that too. 100%. I think it's a bold statement because of what happened, but I don't know. You go ahead, Tony. You saw that.
No, absolutely. Right? I mean, season 1 I felt was like kind of introducing the characters and. Like a lot of good stories, it always begins with tragedies, right? You look at Batman, Spider-Man, whatever, insert anything. So that was kind of season 1, was kind of giving you the origins of the major characters, the major players, and stuff like that. And even though, tragic things happen, and you feel things about that, season 2 is like, we're like, hey, you like all these characters, right? Well, worse stuff is going to happen. And it's like, oh. Okay then.
Yeah.
But yeah, season 2 has really been a roller coaster of emotions and stuff like that. There are even parts, even because I play the game, so I know generally where the vibe is going with some of the storyline. It still managed to obviously surprise you, which is good because you don't want to just be like sitting there and be like, yeah, I know what happens. It's not going to mean anything to me when it does happen. But it's like, oh, yep. This happens. Yep, it's making me feel things and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I don't think we talked about it last week, but it was like number 1 in 65 countries, I think. On Netflix.
I mean, like you guys, I think you said it last week. Like, there's just no way they can't do another season. Like, right? I mean, obviously they say this is it, but
they won't do Arcane.
So successful.
They will be retiring Arcane, but they'll be moving on to different regions or countries and characters and stuff like that. Because again, a league has, I don't know, probably 120 something champions at this point. Last I checked. I mean, this series has been about 10-ish, maybe something like that. So and this is just one region. So we have different countries. They are introducing the Noxian plot line with Mbessa. So I think we're going to see probably a bit more about that depending on how things wrap up this weekend, which I'm eagerly looking forward to, and we'll see. It is really crazy just because like Twitter, social media, Reddit, all that stuff has just gone wild with it. Like every time I log in, there's something new, like either fan art, cosplay.
You're in the algorithm now. I mean, it's on your
thing, I mean, even beyond the algorithm, like it's just like accounts, even though like I follow them for something else, they're talking about it and they're doing things about it. So it's definitely going to be the big hit. And I know we'll probably talk about it in the Game Pass, but it was nominated for best game adaptation at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's definitely going to be stiff competition between this and Fallout. We'll have to see how it ends and stuff like that.
But when I saw that nomination, I'm sorry. I guess we'd talk a little bit here, but like, it's a very tough decision because Fallout was so well done with the adaptation too. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's like deservedly both. Really, it's so hard to pick one out of the two.
Right, and I mean, I couldn't blame somebody for picking either, you know. But like, it's a far cry from where we used to be, right? Where it's like, if we got one good movie that was a video game adaptation, we'd be happy. We'd be like, yeah, Sonic. Yeah, we got it, guys. It's like
Yakuza's on there, and there's no reason for that. But yeah, like So I get you. Like there's usually like a hit maybe, and then now we have like adaptations where we're like splitting hairs over which one's better.
Right, exactly. So it's a far cry and good time to be a game fan.
Yeah. Anything else, Tony?
Nothing major. I meant to start Cobra Kai. I didn't even realize that it came out.
Yeah. I saw
the next part, but I'm just like, it's kind of a stark contrast between Arcane because like they're doing it 3 episodes per week, 3 weeks in a row, and I feel like the gaps for Cobra Kai have been so long that I just kind of any hype I would have had, I'm just deflated on. In addition to I'm just like they're just spinning their wheels again. And I'm just like it feels like the same thing over and over again. I'm just not excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worthy of its last season because I don't want to see the same tropes again. I'm glad they're closing out the story, but the style they chose to do this, I don't agree with it. I understand they're trying to probably roll into the movie hype, but it's like, I think you're killing your own hype. You know what I mean? Like you're killing your own thing.
Yeah, 100%. Like my brother, like I had to remind him, like because we usually watch these together. He's like, oh, yeah, I guess we could do that soon. I was like, all right.
Yeah. The rush isn't there because it's not even like you're still waiting till what, January or. For the next part?
January, February, one of the two.
January, February,
which is just such weird timing. Like, I don't know, man. It's whatever. It'll be a thing.
Yeah. All right, Mike. What about you?
Well, we briefly mentioned the Yakuza series. I finished it. It was 3 more episodes.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I guess it got better?
Some ways. Got slightly more compelling, I would say.
Did you accept it for what it was, essentially, and then just moved on? Is that how it... Like, that's usually how this works.
Well, I mean, no, I you know, the plot also got moving a little more than it was. I would say it gets about 40% of what makes the game series what it is. It's got... There's not an ounce of humor in this.
That's so weird to me. Like,
really
that's so weird.
It's wrong. It's not even like... That's just... Like, the smallest thing about the adaptation that they should have put in it is the quirky humor of it. That's the point. That's what makes those games so impactful and memorable because of that part of it. It's just kind of... Because it's a dark story, like, on its own, most of these things. And, like, to have that humor is kind of big. That's the big thing about these games.
Yeah, there's... I'm trying to think if there's anything intentionally funny in this at all. See, I don't know.
Like, he doesn't do any of the goofy stuff, like at all. Like, no side quest things or anything. Yeah.
No, there's a character or two who's supposed to be like incorrigible, and sometimes it's kind of funny that
the classic Japanese character that's in every movie I've seen from Japan. They always have that kind of character too. It's always like that off the wall kind of guy or girl.
No, it's not even that. There's a character who's like a sibling of a main character who is literally the shittiest sibling ever throughout the whole series, and she I mean, her origins are tragic. You see flashback a couple times to why she's so like doesn't give a shit about anything, or she'll visit her sister and steal her money, and or be a deadbeat mom, or all this stuff. But at a point it gets funny how much she sucks, but I don't think that's really intentional. So of the things that the aspects it hits, it's dramatic, it's sad, it's somewhat violent, but not like... It's not like gory violent. It's bloody. It's the type of violence you get in the Yakuza games where people will die, things might be bloody, but no one's getting like entrails all over the place or anything like that.
Not like the boys or something. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not funny, and I think maybe only one character is served well relative to the games. The character of Yumi is not much of a character in the original games, and now she's more of a character in this, but it's pretty sad. Mostly, the second to last episode is quite sad, and then the last episode is over the top, but again unintentionally. It's like you get like a big, giant spectacle that is just out of nowhere almost. But I there's something to it at least where I wanted to finish it up after the third episode, but
yeah,
it's not exactly what fans of the game were looking for. I think if I didn't know of the game series at all, I'd like it more. But then again, I probably wouldn't have been interested in watching it at all then, because it's just kind of its own little thing there. So,
is the humor, the missing humor, the biggest detraction, you'd say?
Yeah, I would say so. That
Makes
and
sense.
like 1A though is still the characterization of Kiryu, who again, he's one of those aspirational characters rather than inspirational. He's someone who's kind of impossible in the video games to be like he's just, that he is like the moral compass of everything in the games pretty much. Here he's kind of just a thug early on, and like everyone blames him at one point, and it's still not really justified, but you're like, yeah, things are kind of all his fault here. So it's definitely a different take on the main character, so that kind of hurts it a little too. But
it's really strange to me that they lean more into the drama aspect, and I'm wondering if that was a mandate from like Sega or something, like we want this to be like America's like drama, like yeah.
I think they didn't have the confidence that they could pull that off in a straight live action story. Like with games, I think we do have maybe more tolerance for sort of breaking with tone based on what you're doing, but I think they were afraid to do that here.
I'll definitely be interested to see interviews that come out about it and whatnot. I still plan on going through it because I have Amazon, so there's like no reason not to. It just came out at an unfortunate.
It is. I'm not sure if it would be better or worse for you to have played like Yakuza Kiwami, at least like Yakuza 1. That's basically
what this is telling you.
There's it is, but there's some major departures, which I don't mind the plot departures. Some people do. I'm kind of happy with that because it's a different thing, certain things go differently, different characters survive the end. But I don't mind that the plot is different, but the spirit of it is too different. That's where I don't like it.
And that's like for me, like that's what makes that series. So
yeah. I don't blame.
I mean, like you said, Tony, I probably check it out at some point, but I'm not as like driven as like, okay, I never watched One Piece, and I feel like I should watch that one first. The live action One Piece. There's certain shows I'm just like are moving themselves further up this list to get ahead of this show.
Yeah. So. No, I don't blame you. Like I said, last week, when it first got announced, like there's only 6 episodes. That's when I was like, okay. Anything else, like the previews, the trailers, whatever, I was like, okay, whatever, I could deal with that. Like, I don't mind. But like 6 episodes, I'm like, you can't even get through the cutscenes in the game in 6 episodes worth of content. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
This game's notorious for hour-long cutscenes.
I will say there is no like half-hour villain monologue, although there is a fair amount of talking near the end, but still nothing like that.
Wow. So,
did they do well? One last question: did they do well with like actual like fight scenes and stuff though? I saw some clips; they seemed all right, but I wasn't.
I've read in, of course, the Like a Dragon Reddit some criticism of it. To me, they're just kind of there. They're not especially good or bad. It's
gotcha.
okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
There also I will say the big twist that they literally end the entire series on, you can call halfway through the first episode and be pretty certain about it too.
Gotcha.
I'm like, this is what we're ending on, this reveal. Okay.
So they definitely left it open for like a potential season 2 and stuff. So.
I mean, with
You
6
would think
episodes,
so.
with 6
You would
episodes,
think
their
so.
budget could not have been too insane where you might be able to sneak a second season out. You might, depending on your viewership. So
Yeah, I think
possible.
there wasn't nothing looked exceptionally high budget until maybe the last episode. There was again a lot going on there. But
yeah, I know that's how a lot of TV shows kind of focus their budget, especially in anime, for example. They'll be like, well, this is the penultimate episode, so it's going to have like the biggest fight. Like in Gundam, they're like, we save like, you know, half our budget for this one episode, and like the rest of the series, like we're fighting for scraps. So
I will say the you know, the locations were pretty nice to see, but I also know that they're all originally based on real places anyway. They could have just gone there, so it's not like they were sets. Maybe some of them were, but I know that Kamurocho is like something called like Cappuccino or something like that, or something similar. And Sotenbori is Dotenbori in real life. So they are real places, and I think they probably use them. And you know, it was cool to see them, but you know, that was part of that 40% that it got.
Okay. So I mean, sounds like probably mid, whatever, but not as It won't be the biggest train wreck because I don't think Corey will let anyone take that away from Borderlands.
No, I don't.
I don't think so either.
Like again, on its own, I don't think it's bad.
Right.
I just think it's all right.
Not serving the fans. Yeah.
It's not what we were looking for. No, I still don't really know who it's for.
Okay, well, I'll let you know when I get to it.
Yep. All right. Box office this week. Opening is there's a movie opening this week with The Rock in it, and that opened this last week. I'm sorry. Did you know that, guys?
Did the world know? Too?
Because did the world know it? Because Red One opened and it just bombed. Like he changed his own hierarchy of power with Black Adam. I feel like I just am shocked how badly this movie's doing. So, who would give us? By the way, who would give a Christmas movie like a $250 plus $100 million budget marketing? Maybe more than that. I think I'm underdoing that one. By the way, who gives a Christmas movie that much?
Where was this marketing? I barely even knew that this movie was
They spent
coming out.
100%. They spent $100 million on marketing. That was stated. I can't remember if the budget was 250 or 300. That's where I'm like,
where did they put these ads?
I mean, they were on.
I've only
they were
seen
on wrestling a lot. They were on wrestling a lot. I did see it on. Obviously, it was on Netflix a lot with their ad tier, but like, it was on wrestling. That was about it, I believe. I don't think I saw much on TV at all. It's just a terrible, crazy budget. Like, really. And this was. I swear, this was the movie that Chris Evans said he wasn't going to work with The Rock again because he showed up late constantly. He was terrible on this one. This was the one, right?
Yeah, it was. There's some weird interviews I saw where like apparently they confirmed like Rock will pee in bottles at some point.
Yes.
And where he's like, yeah, that happens. Yeah. And it's like, bro, like, you're a grown ass man. Like, I'm not saying like I would be above that, but like at my job I would be. Like, you're telling me.
How doesn't he have a trailer with a bathroom? Like, how far away is the
I don't know, man.
bathroom?
I don't know.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Is he doing some David Blaine shit? Is he like suspended in the sky or something?
I don't know, man. But I feel like you know, even though you joked about it, you know, I really do feel like the Black Adam blunder, which is what I refer to it as now. I really feel like that kind of knocked him down to a lesser tier of like stardom or whatever we want to call it now, and that's part of like why he's going back to Jumanji. Like I know we talked about it last time, but I just feel like he's like, yep, I just need to get that money.
I mean, the problem is like, is it going to kill the Jumanji franchise now? Because that's on a roll.
I know,
and like, I feel like that may have stopped now with the fall of.
Well, it's been so long too. It's been so long.
But like we said before, they could always replace the Avatar,
right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
That's still Kevin. Well,
they're all coming back. They're all coming back. There's no doubt in my mind. What is Jack Black doing? What is Kevin Hart doing?
Minecraft.
And
actually,
Karen Gilliam.
all of them
Yeah.
took a. I don't I don't know about Karen Gilliam, but all the other ones had a bad release recently though too. If you count Borderlands for Kevin Hart.
She was in. I think she was in some artsy thing she wanted to do recently.
Jack Black was in something recently. No, that also
Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Right. Yes.
He's gonna be in the Minecraft movie, which I am doubting. Every time we see more of the Minecraft, I'm like,
happy about that.
No,
looks so bad. Looks so bad.
Not happy.
I just, this is gonna bomb. Did 33 million that's at right now domestic. Did 32 over the weekend. It's 84 worldwide. No chance it makes its budget back close to it at all. Sometimes I just wonder why studios do go through with a release, but then cancel other movies that might have done maybe the same or better.
Who
like,
published
why?
this movie?
What they're doing? They're guessing.
Good question, sir. This was done by. I don't have that right here on this. Why didn't they just give me that? They don't have a distributor? Like,
was it the Rocks Company? Was that why?
It's a Netflix movie, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe it's a Netflix movie.
Interesting. I don't know.
Well, Amazon. It's Amazon Studios.
Oh,
Okay, sorry, it's an Amazon movie. My fault.
Yeah, that is so fucking with $215 million.
Did I get an ad for that watching Yakuza on Amazon?
That's where I've seen it, is Amazon stuff.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I did, but I don't know. Just recently, I don't think I saw it in the first 3 episodes. Just these last 3.
Yep. So Warner Brothers has his hand in it, by the way. It says Warner Brothers Pictures, Amazon MGM, and Universal Pictures. So Warner Brothers is a part of this conglomerate of shit.
I'm sure it's the Rock's doing somehow.
What did it open to actually? What was the number? Like
32 for the weekend. It has a $250 million budget. I just checked that out. $100 million confirmed marketing.
If it had a
reasonable
budget you'd expect for a Christmas movie, maybe that'd
be
okay.
Like $100 million, $150 million. I think
is
a lot.
Superhero money. This is like Marvel or DC, like Batman, Iron Man, like that's that level.
Maybe
like,
they thought The Rock and Chris Evans. They thought maybe they grabbed the superhero group.
They should have just done a Christmas movie.
That's true. They could have done a
They
special.
should have just the Black Adam meets Captain America Christmas special. I guarantee you would have done better than this.
Oh, I bet. Oh, man. All right. Not much going on in the box office at this point. Venom's doing very well. I talk about superhero movies. It did 7.3 last week. It's at 436 million worldwide. Brought its money back in at least. Domestic 128. Still made 128 million domestic.
Good for it, man.
After the opening.
Better than Joker 2.
Yeah. Oh, what movie was that? I don't remember that movie. Oh, I can't wait to get to my bold predictions. Oh my god, you guys are gonna eat me alive. That's coming up so fast.
Yep.
All right. What else? What do we got going on in the news? Let's see. We got a lot going on in the news actually. I want to get to this one before I forget, because it's just a link. So so you posted this article, Tony, in the Discord. A new option's showing up now for subscribers because of all these services, and it's the pause subscription subscriber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you posted this, and I thought this was interesting to talk about because I do feel like this is getting more and more often happening because we talk about services and there's too many and they're too expensive.
Yeah.
They're starting to offer everybody, hey, you could just pause it and take 3 months off and come back, and I think that's the right way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a contract based thing, or incentives. So for instance, I'm going to go with just. This is not a streaming service. Audible, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Audible gave me 3 chances to they sweetened the deal 3 times before I was like, you got me for another 2 months, guys. That's what they're like. What if we gave you 2 credits for $1? And I'm like, okay, here we go. You got me. That's what's gonna happen. I feel like you cancel it and they're like, well, what if we gave you this rate? And that, and their hope is that you miss the renewal. That's the idea.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, it's really just a half step down from the auto renewal anyway. Yes. And for them, I'm sure they had to have done some study or something where they're like, yeah, if we just let you pause, right, we will get a certain percent. We will absolutely get a certain percent of people that are on a whim, just I just have a feeling. I don't know if there's public data on this, but I just have this feeling that there is a somewhat significant number of people that aren't willing to go through the hassle of either making a new account or signing in, entering your credit card number, versus being unpause subscription. I guarantee you there has to be at least 1 million people out there, right? And even if you get a fraction of those million people, that's still money, right? because how many people just get bored, right, on the weekend or like whatever, you know, and it's like, sure, like I'll just sign up for the month for whatever fucking subscription service and I'll watch whatever, right?
The thing for me is it reminds me of the Sirius XM model because it's like they'll give you the promo rate and then they'll hit you for like a giant amount and you don't even like. I know there's people that don't even look at their charges until like the end of the month, and at that point you've eaten all that credit up. Like they'll give you your money back. Like it's happened to me because I've forgotten to call them, but I get like notified every charge that hits my cards on my phone. So when I see it pop up, I'm like, they got me, and I call them up. They give me the refund, but they're hoping I don't catch that. That's the idea.
Got me again.
Yeah. So, you know, Audible got me 1 month, and then I have to remember to cancel now because they got me for the $12, and then they just got me for another. It was $1 for another 2 credits. Yeah. It was crazy. So, still there. But that's what I see this happening with. Like you said, it's got to be catch them, you know, the misses.
Yeah, and also I think it does tie into, at least under the current administration, the FTC. What's her name? The head of the FTC.
What's her name now?
Was pushing legislation where it has to be as easy to cancel a subscription as it was easy to sign up for it. Which I'm all for, because how easy is it to sign up for like any of these things, right? They're like, oh, just username, password, and give us your credit card info, and you're in. But canceling it, like, it's a fucking nightmare, dude.
Like, you gotta find it.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to find the button.
Yeah, they hide it and shit.
Between multiple menus. Yeah. Sure. Thanks for tuning in and chiming in too. Adobe was sued for that. They were like, I remember that because you couldn't find the button. Yeah. Like it's ridiculous. And some of these are like that. Like I tried to find it was Hulu because I was trying to find out where my tier was for like the ads and stuff. I was like, because I'm like, why am I seeing so many ads? I'm like, so I'm in my account. I'm like, where is this? Like, it's not there. You know, it's ridiculous. So I had to go over to Disney Plus side and find it that way.
Oh my
and it's just like, who's gonna do that besides like someone like me? You know, it's like I'm an IT mind. I'm gonna look it out. I'm gonna find it. Is what's gonna happen. But
I had to, I just canceled the Yes app after the
season's over. Yeah.
And but because I couldn't do it in the app, I had to do it through Roku because I happened to use that to first choose it. I had to go to the Roku website unsubscribe to the Yes app. Meanwhile, with Roku, if my son, who is not even 3 years old, gets his hand on the remote for too long, I'll be subscribed to something soon.
You've got to pin code protect that, man. So, and I even have the approval protection. Even after the pin code, I have to still hit the yes button to the approval. Yeah, because
a lot lot of it is
smash buttons. They can get through it.
It's like we got your credit card here. You clearly want this. You press the button.
Get an email. Was it last weekend? I got an email. Hey, do you want to buy this? And I'm like, I'm on the couch. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about?
It's like we're not that far off from like, oh, you pause on this page for like 2 seconds, so clearly that means you want to subscribe. Like, no, what the fuck?
Also, just watching the Yakuza show. This was the first time I saw, since it's Amazon,
ads.
There was a toy ad. It's just like, oh, you want to just save this in your Amazon cart right now?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, no.
That's the next step. You guys are absolutely right. 100%. Yeah. We've seen it in movies for years, and you're like, why would anybody do that? And it's like now we're flowing into that. Like it's happening. Sci-fi is becoming a reality.
It pisses me off too with Amazon because every now and then my Amazon my Echo will light up, and I'm like, oh, do I have like a delivery notification? Did I forget about something? And I'm like, you know who, because I don't want to activate for anybody, but it's like, give me my updates or whatever, and it's like we based on your usage, we feel that you probably need a refill of like insert soap or shampoo or whatever. Would you like to reorder? I'm like, no, fuck off. Like, I will tell you when I want to order this. Like, come on.
We know that you're showering this much.
Yeah, it's like,
They are. Amazon is. I'm not on a tangent entirely. Amazon's super sneaky with their subscription renewals. Like Chewy, when I do Chewy, like I do pet stuff, so I sometimes hop back and forth between the two. Chewy would be like, "Hey man, we are getting ready to ship this. Do you really want this auto ship?" And I'm like, "Thanks guys, because no, I don't anymore. I just want the 5%, so I cancel it." Amazon does not tell you until it ships. It's like it shipped, and unless you're in Amazon, you can see it, but they don't email you or notify you at all.
So. Well, it's super sneaky too. Just anecdotally, this is totally off topic, but it's funny. Like last year, because I account share my Amazon with my sister and brother-in-law, so they have their own Echo or Fire Stick rather, and he was trying to get like whatever the MLB thing Amazon has or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I guess it messed up and it like used my account to purchase it instead of his account, which he already had or something like that. So I had this charge for like $200 for the season or whatever like that, and I didn't catch it for like 2 months or something like that. And I had to call, I had to speak with a representative, and they're like, "Well, why'd you wait so long?" I'm like, "I didn't notice because like, I had to go to a specific thing to like look up where it was in my like history. Like it wasn't just like order history. It was like subscription history. I'm like, why are you sorting this out? Like if I just want to see like what all I'm spending per year or per month on Amazon, you should just show me that in one thing. I shouldn't have to go to, my subscriptions are different than my purchases.
They don't want to show you that.
Yeah, it's bullshit. They don't want to show you that. And I threatened. I was like, well, my Amazon Prime is up for renewal in a month. I either pay that or I pay this. So you tell me.
Yep.
You tell me, Amazon.
All right, let's move on to more streaming service stuff. Did you guys check the Tyson fight out?
Nope.
No. Oh, you didn't. It was an absolute
afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was an absolute nightmare for sure. I don't care about the result, whatever that aside. It was an absolute nightmare for live streaming on the largest streaming service. I believe the largest, right? I mean, I don't think Amazon's bigger. No. The largest streaming service in the world could not handle the traffic. It was constantly going to 99% for me, and like during the match, I took a picture and sent you. I showed you that. Yeah. It was happening every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I'd have to back out and go back in, and it unbelievable. Apparently, it was doing that pretty much all night, and yeah, it is not. Clearly, the future is not ready for this. Like the reality is not ready for the future. Sorry, the present is not ready for the future, because we should have that capability. There's no doubt. Like I understand it's probably highly watched, but like there's like WWE's moving to Netflix in January. Christmas, sure. There's their first football game, and that's gonna be pretty big. The NFL.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. Think about that. Like that's why the memes being posted where the guy's going to kick the field goal to win the game and it just pauses at the end. You're like, yep, that could very well happen.
Imagine if the Super Bowl was on there, that it just wouldn't work.
Yeah. I mean, the cable companies have to be like high-fiving themselves right now.
Here's the thing. Like, I know I'm going to be the outlier here, but fuck, I don't give a shit. Like, sports to me means nothing. Sports, yeah. And and if anything, I actually hope it fails, because I like the biggest thing to me is I don't want my rates going up to pay for sports shit. I get it. Because I had to do that with Comcast. Fuck that.
I get it. But like, there's certain things like I'm subscribed to live TV only for sports. Really.
Okay,
I mean,
like
that's
that.
It.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. Like, I want to go to a streaming service for sports. No, if that's possible.
Fuck off.
You know what I mean?
Fuck off.
I don't want to go with the raised Netflix price for anime, so that's why I'm off Netflix.
Their stuff's great, Mike. You got to check some of this stuff out. It's fantastic. Yeah. Let's see, Chiro, why not make it like Hulu? Doesn't Hulu have separate service for live TV? No, it's integrated. Well, yes, but it's integrated into Hulu. It's a terrible interface. I have it, and it is like Hulu's interface for TV is horrible. Just so you all know,
they're basically just stealing a cable, like watching.
It's like it is like you're like pirating something. That's what it feels like when I'm watching TV on Hulu. It feels like I'm pirating the feed.
Yeah, you can tell when it's ad time, and they like go over ads with their Hulu bullshit.
Yeah, and like that's right, Cheryl. You could give them the option instead of like in the app. I get that. Yeah, absolutely. You make it a separate service within the app. That makes sense. But yeah, it's. Anyways, all right. Let's see. Daisy Ridley is still set to star as Rey Skywalker in multiple Star Wars films. It has been reported now.
Ooh.
So yeah, Rey from the new movies. Her character is not done. But I was reading a little more about this. So it looks like they're doing like one where she's kind of like the Obi-Wan in the series, and they want her popping up in different movie universes.
I don't care. I cannot care. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
I know.
Every time you bring up Star Wars, I'm just like, I can't care.
Well, it's because they're gonna do another trilogy. They're gonna do another trilogy.
New stuff. It's not backtracking.
we're getting 10,
No,
11, and 12.
That's fine. Absolutely, that's fine. And if it comes out and it's good, then I don't watch it. But like, I can't care until then.
I'm agreeing with you though. Like, I don't know if I want that, honestly. Like, I kind of want the new Star Wars stuff. But then I was reading a whole study on it. Most of Star Wars success is built on nostalgia. Like, they haven't been.
That's what I've been saying for years.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, no. But
guys, remember how Leia got her blaster holster? No, I never fucking once thought about that shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what they're banking on right now, and so that's why they were afraid to walk away from the trilogies.
No, I understand.
Obvious.
I understand.
Yeah, listen, Star Wars is, we're still all coasting on that original trilogy, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
The thing I will say is I'm just surprised it took them this long. Because, like, we're, 5 years out from Rise of Skywalker? Right? That was pre-pandemic.
2018?
I must have been.
I want to say 2018. Maybe 6 years out.
6 years out.
Maybe it's 2019. Hang on. I'll look it up while we're doing this live.
Doesn't matter that much, but...
It's a 2019 film. 2019 film.
Yeah, so 5 years out. We're 5 years out. And again, like, even if they started filming the beginning of 2025, we're at least 3 years out.
They also pushed them through 2026 already. So it's not happening in 2026
so it's not happening
already.
So like, we're going to be close to a decade, and it's like, it just feels like, and the thing is, I just want to say, like, I don't mind Rey. I think for the first 2 movies out of the 3, she was a great character, and the third one just kind of did not do her character arc service or justice or whatever you want to call it. And I would have been fine if immediately they're like, hey, here are our plans. Like, new trilogy, guys. Like, we don't know when, we don't know where, but it will be a new trilogy with Rey and some of the other characters. I would have been like, hey, okay, great. Whenever we get that, it's new content, it's moving the timeline and the story forward, fine. But, like, they sat on their hands for fucking years now, and it's like, guys, guess what? After 6 years, we're going back. When? To Rey. It's like, oh, like, you kind of, like, just, like, didn't care about her at all.
I wonder
it seems pretty clear that they were considering a harder pivot, and then they're like, nope, we don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why, like, for me, that's
what I'm wondering.
As a fan, that's a lowercase f now. It's just like, when you don't have the confidence in your own projects and your own characters, like, that's where, to me...
that during that trilogy, either, where they went back and forth
with
the directors.
The directors, yeah. But that, to me, is, like, a perfect example of where, like, kind of like you, Mike, with Warner Brothers, like, I feel like that corporate meddling did Star Wars a huge disservice compared to, like, say, like, Marvel, where I'm like, I would say 90% of the Marvel stuff hits, and it's just that last 1 year or whatever that was like, I don't know what's going on with Ant-Man 3, guys. It's kind of shit. And Eternals and stuff like that. But, like, other than that, you can't really complain too much. But that's probably because they have somebody like Feige on board, and Disney just didn't have that for Star Wars, which, sucks.
Yep. Let's talk about showrunners. James Gunn was talking about the Batman movie for the DCU, not the Matt Reeves film.
He was talking about it in a way that says, let's not talk about this yet.
Yeah, he really downplayed it. Like, he's like, we're not moving forward until I'm happy with something. So I don't even know when to expect a film from this.
I'm starting now, finally, to get on Mike's side of this, where I'm just like, James, you just need to shut up, put out Superman, and have that be a hit movie. Like, I do not care about anything you also have to fucking say about anything DC related until Superman is out. Don't say anything. Like, do not. I don't want to hear it.
A lot, man.
He does talk.
Well, it's fine, but like, it's like, dude, like you're talking about shit that is so far down the road now. You need to be concerned about this thing that is coming out right now. Like, we are facing this, like, right here, right? Yeah. Like, that's what you should be talking up. That's what you should be hyping up.
Should be coming very soon.
Like, I don't give a shit about Lanterns. I don't give a fuck about your plans for Batman in the DCU. Like even Peacemaker. Like, did you see his comments about Peacemaker? About how, like,
everything is canon
except the Justice League. Yeah, I'm like, dude, you are losing the fucking plot here. Like, not only did you cherry pick to begin with, like, well, guys, okay, so here's what's canon to the new DCU. It's Peacemaker season 1, Harley Quinn, or whatever the fuck he said. But then it's like, oh, by the way, now asterisk, it's most of Peacemaker season 1 minus the Justice. It's like, dude, what are you fucking talking? Why are you making this so complicated? Nothing is even out, and you're making it complicated.
Yeah, it's already confusing, and we're going into confused. This is not a way to go into something. So
I'm just like, dude, shut up.
Hurts himself.
And fucking make Superman great. Make Superman great again.
That's it. So.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this Gamecast, Moviecast, folks. This is the end of the news for us. We have nothing. So yeah, that'll wrap it up. Once again, we're live on Twitch Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Please join us for the Moviecast. We have the Gamecast coming up next, so stay tuned if you're here. Check us out on YouTube as well. We'll see you over there. We are out.